Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Tony Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is July the 19th. Let me check my volume, then we get on the show. Testing 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm on. Let's get it on. So as you can see behind me, I have Sunrise Forever as my backboard today. Over the weekend, they celebrated their annual fundraising and whatever they had to do. And I was there. It was a wonderful occasion. We had the mayor of Providence City, Mayor Jorge Ilosa, stood by, made his statement. We had a message from our Senator, David Cicilline. And we had a wonderful time, both on social media and for those who were present at the occasion. It was a wonderful occasion. And the reason I'm doing this is because we need to pay attention to Sunrise Forever. So let me get into my lesson right off the bat because we're already talking about this. My first topic today is about Sunrise Forever. Then my topics come around. Sunrise Forever Incorporated of Providence, Rhode Island. Number 2, Mothers' Lamentations for their missing, lost, or dead children. COVID-19 virus and protests for pay are standard living conditions in Liberia. And 3, who owns Liberia? So let's start with Sunrise Forever. You know, I was really impressed with Sunrise Forever because even though I'm involved with them, my wife is mostly involved with them. I just give them whatever support I can with my wife on the technical side. And we try to support them financially and in every way we can because this is a needed organization for our people. And the founder and president of this organization, Alice Howard, has done an exceptional job with this organization. I remember when Alice ran for president of the Liberian community, there was a whole lot of yo about her presidency, about her desire to become president. There was a whole lot of fussing and fighting. So she founded her Sunrise Forever. And this organization has grown because of the efforts Alice has put in this organization. Her organization itself, the board of directors, and the members that come together to make this organization work have put some good efforts into making it work. And we got to give them the kudos. We got to give them the thanks and appreciation, the congratulations, because they have done a good job. I think they have made 2 or 3 trips to Africa, Liberia, especially with their backpack programs. We see all the children here getting backpacks in different schools. They pick their schools and they go to it in Monrovia and in other areas adjacent to Monrovia. And they give their backpacks to the children. They do other things. But what really impressed me with Sunrise, I know they've been doing things in Liberia, and I know they run their little weekly food program since the pandemic started, but I didn't know to the extent to which they have been doing their efforts in Rhode Island. And it is amazing. I was impressed because this is the flyer. There was a flyer for the program, Sunrise Forever. This was a very interesting flyer. They did well with it. Let me see what we can see in here. Yeah, they put a little thing together. And this is the page that really impressed me. This is the page of the things they are currently doing in Rhode Island. And these are testimonials of people who have benefited from the program. And these are the things that they are doing in America. Now, when I went to the program yesterday, as I said, I'm not as involved as my wife is. She go to the meeting because I got my show and all these things to do. So when they need me, they call me, and I assist when I can. But my wife is on the board and a member, so she's really involved with this program. And when I went there yesterday and was handed this flyer, I know about the food program they're doing because I get my crab regularly. I like to eat my crabs. I like to eat some of my fish. So I'm in the mix. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm in the mix. I'm in the mix. I get my shit. I'm in the mix. So I'm in the mix, okay? And I get my little crabs and my little, what else I get? Yogurt. I get my little other stuff for my little breakfast things, for my little bread and picking my little sandwiches. My sandwiches. So, so I get my little stuff too. And if you call Alice them and get on the list, I think it's a weekly thing. You get your little supplies weekly when it comes. You see, so our people be benefiting from these things since the COVID-19. And besides that, I started reading the thing. I thought this whole thing was about the backpack program and people in Liberia. But these people doing some amazing things in Rhode Island here. Okay, let me read some of them to you, okay? Despite the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, Sunrise Forever Incorporated, one, build community relationships with other nonprofits and partners to create awareness of our mission. Two, they collaborated with most high industries, a social enterprise organization in Rhode Island. Well, that's just part of the introduction. It's collaborated with high industries, and by offering haircuts, hairstyles to 100 young Rhode Island students before going back to school. So this was recently. They gave 100 haircuts and braided 100 haircuts and hairs. I think the total was 100 for Rhode Island students going back to school. That's a good thing because just to braid hair, you all know how much it charges. Just to braid some of those hairs, that's $65, $70, $80. So if they did that for 100 students, boys and girls, that's a tremendous effort. Okay? They provided school supplies for 100 Rhode Island students. They also delivered 100 bags of groceries to local veterans. They also launched Sunrise Fused with Fish, a collaboration with the Rhode Island Food and Policy Council and the Commercial Fisheries Center of Rhode Island to distribute on a weekly basis several pounds of fresh fish to 500 to 300 or more Rhode Island families. So these people are delivering fish on a weekly basis. And this is tremendous because this was during the COVID time too, when we're in the midst of the COVID time. Every week we could depend on getting food from Sunrise Forever. So they were distributing these foods and family who need it. They're still doing it because I just got my crab legs the other day. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. And that's why you need to get involved with your community, get involved with organizations like Sunrise Forever, that go out their way to help in our communities. But this is outstanding because I thought they were only doing this in Liberia, but they're doing things in Rhode Island too. So you can call Alice and get on this weekly food basis list. And when the food comes, they will call you. Because I know every Friday or during the week they call us and we go there and pick up our food. I religiously eat my crab. I religiously eat my yogurt and my bread and other things to give. You better get there and religiously do some of that stuff yourself. Because it's for us. These things are to help promote our communities. And this is outstanding. I even went to them yesterday during the program. After I read it, I said, whoa, you people, I know you're doing the rights and all that, but you people have expanded your mission. You have expanded your mission. And this is outstanding for our community, And this is why more people should get involved with this kind of program. We need people to get involved with it. We need people in our community, not only to get food, but we got other things. What happened to Henry Etta and her program for the elderly? We need to get involved with that. These are our community members who were also community leaders. But because they're not doing it for the Liberian community, doesn't mean that you all can get involved. The Liberian community can't do everything. So if you got other people in the community doing things to subsidize what the community is doing, we all need to get involved. These things are done by Liberian people for our community and the greater Rhode Island community. The Liberian community cannot do everything. And this is the problem with our community. Everybody wants to go to the Rhode Island community. Liberian community. Liberian community cannot do everything. So we need these other communities, organizations, to work with the Liberian community. That don't mean the Liberian Community Association cannot work with this group. Because they are not with the Liberian Community Association does not mean that there cannot be an outreach for the Liberian Community Association. And these are the kind of people we need in our community. People who will go out and do other initiatives that will serve the greater community. And as part of the Liberian community, these community organizations need to be incorporated within the Liberian community so they can serve as subsidiary organizations that can serve the needs of our people. And usually we hear when these organizations start, there's conflict between them and the Liberian Community Association because the Community Association want to own these groups, want to say why Liberians forming groups, why they don't come to the Liberian community. Everybody does not have to come to the Liberian community. The community organization can serve as a conduit to which all of these organizations can be reached. The organization in our community association can do only certain things. But when you have these other Liberians reaching out, Henrietta White Holder, you got Alice Howard, all these people doing significant things in our community. Okay? Henrietta is taking care of the elderly. She got her elderly program. People can go there. This program is to help the kids who need food, families who need food, families who need help in organizing things, in promoting things. That's why all the organizations are here. And we can't neglect our people. We cannot be petty and jealous. We cannot say, oh, if you don't come to the Liberian community, then you're against the Liberian community. No, they're not against the Liberian community. They are Liberians. They are part of the greater Liberian community. And it does us well to form connection with these groups, to make them feel a part of our community association, because through these groups, we can liaison. I can't get the word to go. Liaison. You know what I mean. And work with other groups. We call it network. The same networking. We network with other groups. Form a chain of networks. So when one thing happens and the Liberian community cannot reach to people or help them immediately, we call these other groups. And we tell them the needs of our community and what they can do. And these people, they are viable organizations. They are outstanding organizations. And they are Liberians. So when we reach out to these organizations that are just as organized or even more organized than the Liberian Community Association, because with these organizations like Alice Howard and Frida and Henrietta White Holder, they're not competing with the Liberian Community Association. In fact, they are buttressing the services and support for the community that everybody can access. So there's no problem in accessing the support of these organizations. And when you have organizations that are prominent, this is a prominent organization, they think been going on. Alice Howard been doing her organization for what? Good 5 years now or more. So when you have these viable organizations with members and board and organization outside that are assisting them, like this organization, they got a Washington Trust Bank in Rhode Island, assisting them. That's a grave initiative for our people. This is something that we should put our hands around and help our people to move it to the next level, to advance this whole thing, to benefit us, to raise our people's consciousness in this country. Because with this organization in Rhode Island Community Association and the Rhode Island community, this is another means of access for our community members, of outreach, of networking, of associating, participating. So we should understand the significance of having many of these organizations in our community, led by Liberians who have formed networking with other greater Rhode Island communities and have sponsors like the Washington Trust Bank and Chase Manhattan Bank and all these financial institutions that can give us leeway, that have members in them, like Dr. Carla White Ellis, that cares about promoting minority communities. And for people like this to adopt our community and work with our people to advance things in Liberia and in America, it's a great initiative. And this is something we should all get involved with. We should get our African American and people involved with it too, because they connects us with Liberia. This connects us with our people, our homeland. And this is what we need to connect our two countries, our two peoples. Because we are one people. We just don't know it until we realize how great a connection it is between Liberia and America and vice versa. So it's a great initiative of forming great connections, of doing great things in Liberia for our poor people, and in America for our poor people. We got poor people here too. We got needy people. And all of us could benefit from the food. I'm not poor or needy, but the food is there for all of us. The supply is there. You don't got to go there and eat everything. I like certain things. When they come, I go for it. And I support them. I support their initiatives. I support what they do. So it's not just like I go and eat their food. But we all play, we all work, or all work, we all play makes Jack a dull boy. So when we putting our time in these things, when such things are made available to us, all of us benefit from it, not one person. So these are the efforts that we need to get involved with in our community. This brings us together, African and African American communities. African and African American communities. Because just how Liberians are promoting this thing, American family, African American families are welcome. Latino families are welcome. We know that Latinos got their own thing going on too. We know that. We go to that too. Because sometimes I pass I see Latino things going on. I stop in, I pick up my thing too. Not only Liberian thing. That's why we got the Black and Latino caucus in Rhode Island. We got two minority caucuses working together as one. So when we need something and not in the Liberian community, you see it in a Hispanic community, you stop and pick it up. Vice versa. The Hispanic people passing, they got the thing in the community, they see it in the African and Liberian community, stop and pick it up. It's for you too. So when we form this connection between us, we can't be impoverished. We can't suffer because what we're getting is small and we can't share it. No, we can share it. We can share it. This is what community is all about. And that's why in Rhode Island we have the Black and Latino working together. Because some Latinos are Black. Anastasia Williams, Grace Diaz, all these women are Hispanic and Negro. They're Black. So we have an interwoven community here. When I see Grace Diaz, I see her as a Liberian. She identifies as Liberian. She's a Negro. I see her as one. Same thing with Anastasia Williams. They're Hispanic, but they're Black. So we have an interwoven community. It's interwoven in Rhode Island. We need each other. We work together. That way we have the Black and Latino caucus. because most black are also Latinos. You heard our Congresswoman, AOC, Cortez. She said she black. That's not a lie. We are interwoven people. And if any Hispanic people say they're not black, they're a problem. They got a problem. But majority of us are black. And we work together. We share. So this is the wonder of working as a community to lift each other up. Working as a community to know that if we don't have, we can go to the Hispanics. If they don't have, they can come to us. That's how community works. Same thing with the white community. Huh? When we got people like Dr. Carla White Ellis and all these people working with us, she didn't know how to do it. They could live their comfortable lives. But they come into the community to work. They participate. They show a different side of community service. This the real side of community service. You see, because it doesn't have to be black, white, or blue. It can be for all of us. We can all share in the community work. We can all share in the community enjoyment. We can share in the community problems and issues. And that's how it's supposed to be. So when you got organizations like Sunrise Forever promoting all these things, and you should read some of the testimonials in here, man. This is a good booklet. I think they put it online too. These are all the testimonials in here and all the things they did in Liberia and other parts of Africa. I think they went to Ghana too. I don't know where all they went. But then they got their call to action. Telling people we can all do it, man. We can all get involved to help the community. It doesn't have to be one group of people. It doesn't have to be pro-pool. It can be pro anything. So while we're in the community, let's understand that community service is important. Community service matters. And once we all get involved, many hands make light work. So that means when you put many hands into the work, becomes easy, light. This community service, our desire to grow and expand our communities become possible. Because we're not fighting. Even the Pope said this morning, Pope Francis, he said, we should take a step back. Chill. Take a step back. Put the cell phone down. Put all these things down that got us running helter-skelter. And stop. Take a break. The Pope just said it this morning. I was watching it on TV. He said we should take a break. The world is, everybody just running around like crazy. Cell phone everywhere. People can't put our cell phone down. Everything, people cell phone, texting and all the kind. No, take a break. Take a break, put everything down. Let's rewind for a while. Let's go back. Something is wrong. We're moving too fast. We're not conscious of what we're doing. And the more we move fast, we're all concentrating on what we need to do, the more things happen in the world to hurt us. Because we're not focused. We're just the crazy people running around. So we need to reel ourselves back in. We need to sit down and take stock of our lives again. Because something is not right. Okay? So that's my lesson on this one. We need to get involved with organizations like Sunrise, with Henrietta program. What her program called? Breaking Ground. What's Henrietta program now? I think forgetting it, but you'll help me if you're I'm sure you'll know it. What Higher Ground. with a higher ground program in Rhode Island, the Rhode Island Liberian communities. Those are all avenues. Then we got the African communities. So if you can't go to the African community, you can't go to the Rhode Island community. Look for sunrise. Look for higher grounds. Look for all these other people that are outlets to our community to help them, to bring life to our community, our elders and our children, everything. So these are essential organizations. They are essential community organizations. And we need these organizations. So we need to work together. We need to understand the significance of being part of a greater community that serves the need of our people. Okay? People that make sacrifices, self-sacrifices, to do the things that our government can't do, to do the things the Liberian community cannot do, to do the things that political organizations cannot do because of the politics and the useless back bickering and fussing and fighting. So when you got these other organizations that are devoid of politics, are devoid of fuss and fight for power, for who getting recognition, and this and that, and people that focuses on a mission, on the goals of what they want to do, you bring bigger life to our community, greater life to the meaning of life for our people. And these are the things we need. These are the things we need more than politics, more than foolishness. These are the things we need because they make us wholesome. They make us functioning as human beings. Okay? So this is it. We need organizations like these. We need people who care about other people and are willing to make the sacrifices. So I ask you to support Sunrise Forever, both financially and physically. See what you can contribute. See what you can do to help them. Okay? Because it's a necessity. We must come together to help each other. Let me get my other topics. Mothers' lamentations for their missing, lost, or dead children. We just listened to Howard Mescott show this morning, where this woman is crying for a missing child. How long will we go through this? Every time we turn to something, some child is being mistreated or missing or is presumed dead or something wrong in our society that is dysfunctional, that does not fare well for the coexistence of our people. You know, we can't go through this. Every time we turn around, somebody missing, somebody dead, ritualistic killing, our children at risk. Liberian children are indigenous species. They can't exist in an environment like Liberia. This is unbelievable. People cannot live freely in Liberia. The killings are too much. For what? Election coming around now. There's a lot of ritualistic killing going to be going on. You can see it now. People killing for power and wealth through spiritual means. This is asinine, but it's true. It's not far-fetched. It's happening right now as I speak in Liberia. And this is intolerable. This is unacceptable. And for all people to be involved with this thing is terrible. We need to come together and put a stop to this thing. We need to put a stop to it. Because it will not only affect other people's family, it will end up affecting your own family. You will be running behind police trying to get answers, and there will be no answers. Why we gotta go through this? Why we gotta accept this thing time and time again? Why must our mothers continue to cry and weep and shout in agony for the children that they lost? Why? Now in Liberia, you can't even let your little kids out of your house, out of your sight. You got to be following them everywhere. Because the country has become so lawless, so untrustworthy. Our leaders, you can't depend on them. You can't depend on them. They will let you down. So, I don't know what kind of country we got, man. Then on top of that, the COVID-19. Look at the report this morning. Since over the weekend, since Friday to today, 81 people got COVID-19. 81 people plus. Because over the weekend, the cases were 5,311 or something, or 12. The case that they report this morning is 5,396. So from over the weekend, from 5,312 or 13 to now 5,396, we have some new cases, a lot of new cases. So something is wrong. Something is wrong. It's not reflecting the right count. Then death is still the same almost at 148. At 148. Recovery, 2,715. But are these numbers right? Are these numbers truthful? Because when we went back to the places they were doing all these tallying of the various COVID-19 cases in Liberia, we see that there are discrepancies between what the government reporting and the new cases that are coming out and the people that are being cured. They say 2,715 have recovered. Can we trust these reports? We see right now it's been nearly a month and we don't have COVID vaccine in Liberia. Why? Why are there no COVID vaccines in Liberia? Between the killings, the mothers crying for their children, the children being missing and lost, we got the COVID-19 ravaging our country. People getting $30,000 pay and no vaccines in the country. People getting $3 million pay, and our people have problems with a disease that is killing them. Our children going to school in this kind of condition. Our teachers and all these people being faced with this COVID-19. And our government has failed to help us reel it in. In fact, they're going out of the state, taking their vaccination because they don't trust people in their own country. So they're going out to take vaccine and come back home and pretend like nothing's wrong. But we can't continue like this. Our country cannot continue to this. And look now, They protest. They protest. Every day is a protest. I mean, the thing is so ludicrous that you be wondering, we're going to protest this again. But the people protesting for food and money and pay. Why are these people not being paid? What is so hard for these people not to get paid? We see our government officials getting paid on time, plus getting $30,000 additional money. And we have all these problems in our country. Our people not getting paid. Our hospitals have no bed. We have no COVID-19 vaccinations in the country. For over 1 month now, they told us last month, June, that the vaccines will be 30,000 plus doses. It's almost a one month now and no vaccine in the country. How can we live with this kind of incompetence? How can we live with this kind of greed and corruption? This is too blatant. This is too blatant that the people will just steal, deny us health treatment, and getting paid over plus, getting paid plus. This is not right. It's not seen, it's not sound, it's not moral. It cannot be moral. You cannot have our people dying and suffering and one group of people getting paid and getting allowances that are unaccounted for. This is not fair. This is not right. This is not human. This is not conscious. This is evil. It's bad and wicked. People have not taken paid for how many months? 15, 20, 30 months. And these people are getting extra money for their personal projects. What is wrong with our country? What is wrong with this picture? There's something seriously wrong. Our mothers crying for their children who are getting missing, who are getting lost, and who are getting dead for no apparent reason. COVID-19 is ravaging our country. People stealing the money. They collect money at the airport. $8 million disappear. We come in the city. You people can't get paid. Let us leave looters going home with $30,000 for private project. What kind of project? What kind of project you got other than paying the Liberian people their money? What kind of project? I mean, these people have no empathy for the Liberian people. They have no sympathy for the plight of our suffering people. They have no plight. To come here and just steal with impunity is a problem. It's a sickness. It's not even a problem. It's going beyond a problem. It's a sickness. Our leaders are sick. They have mental problems. They have physical problems. They have heart problems. They're callous. They're wicked. They need to be condemned. These people cannot sit down and be leaders of our country while the masses of our people suffering. The masses of our people suffering. And only 3 or 4 people, 5, 6, 7, 8, enjoying everything. This is not right. This is not right. How long will our mothers lament? How long will they cry for their children? For their children that are supposed to be safe in a Liberia like this. But people can't even let their children out of the house for 1 minute. They will steal them and try to kill them or rip them. Why? Why is our country so backwards? Why has the evil and sins penetrated our society so bad that our people have callous hearts? Our people have no feelings. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? I want to know. I want to know because this is not the Liberia I know. These are not the Liberian people I know. What happened to our society? What happened to our people? What happened? What happened, man? Now we're looking for July 26th. How we get it? We got more rogues than we got people. We got more rogues stealing than we got people. Everybody come in power to enrich themselves and steal. We have no leadership. We have no leadership. Because if we had leadership, things like this will not persist. If we have leadership, the needs of our people and our country will be paramount. If we had leadership, our people lives will not be at risk of a disease that is so prevalent that we cannot see. Why? Why do we have our people that just loot us, looting us in broad daylight? Why do we have these criminals leading us? We call leaders. This is not right. This is not culture. This is not for people of sound thinking minds. Something got to be due. Something got to be due. Something got to be do. We can't keep our country like this. It's not right. So let me come to my last topic for the day. Who owns Liberia? We always use to hear Sonny Kumsiki. Who owns Papa Land? Papa Land? Who owns Papa Land? Papa Land? Who owns? Yeah. You used to be singing that thing when they were killing, talk about them. Who owns Papa Land? Who owns Papa Land? Who owns Mama Land? Who owns Mama Land? Who owns We Are 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 Land? Now, everybody just shut up. People tired singing. They tired acting out their grievances. They're tired. So where will our country go now? You're going to give us what will belong back? Or you're going to try to steal it still? To put your names on everything you don't deserve? I need to know. I need to know because that will tell me who owns Papa land. That will tell me who owns my land. Because my land cannot be going backwards to the dogs and to the cats. And people say, we own our land. No, we don't own our land. Who owns Papa's land? Who owns Papa's land? You please tell me. Because we have a failure of communication somewhere. A failure to communicate somewhere. And that failure cannot continue to exist. So how we see ourselves is how we think about ourselves. And we got to change that picture of ourselves in our minds. Because apparently we are not looking good. Apparently we are not looking brave. Apparently we are not looking like real men and women. We get scared of what we ourselves don't know. Of what we ourselves don't know. We make up all these things, put them in our minds, make us scared, lose control. But this is something we seriously need to take care of. Something we need to consider. Because we need to know who owns Papa land. Because if people own our papa's land and can't give us the necessities of life, they don't own papa's land. Those landlords need to be removed. Okay? I'll look that continue. My class is done. My class is done. But I hope I've laid some emphasis on the fact that we own our country. Not George, we are there. If we let this war we have been through dim our senses and our patriotism and our loyalty, we feel coming out of war is supposed to make us stronger, not weaker. But we have gotten weak. We have gotten weak. People can tell us what they want to do in our country, and we can't say anything. We think it's right. People can come and try to overthrow this government, and today we're still reading from it. We don't know what hit us. Something is wrong, and something gotta be done. Something is wrong, and something gotta be done. Save you. That means save us, because we need to know who owns Papa land. I wanna know who owns Papa land. I wanna know who owns Papa land. I wanna know. I wanna know, no, who owns Papa's land? Do we own this land? Do we own this land? Who owns Papa's land? Who owns Papa's land? I don't got no land. I don't got no place. But who owns our Papa's land? Who owns our Papa's land? Is it the Fuckers? It is Joia. Is it Ellen Johnson Sally? It is Charles Sally, Fuma Sally, Robert Sally, and one of those criminals on Liberia. Who owns Papa's land? Who owns Papa's land? I really want to know who owns Papa's land. Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy. Who owns Papa's land? I'll see you all later. I got to get out of here. Because who owns Papa's land? Who owns our land? Who owns that land, man? Where our mothers are crying. COVID-19 is ravaging our country again. And the protest continues for their money, for their jobs, for sheer happiness. Have a good day, my people. The luta continua.